Now these Jehovah wickedness, they got caught in the red-handed lie. Now they saying that Isaiah 14, 1 and 2 is talking about Daniel and Esther and Mordecai. When Daniel didn't go back to his homeland and have handmaids and servants. Esther and Mordecai didn't go back to their homeland and have handmaids and servants and rule over their oppressors. You see, Esther and Daniel, they was oppressed by the Persians and being ruled over by the Persians, and they got married to the king and in a high position under the king. Same thing with Daniel. He was just in a position under the king. He was a government official pretty much, but he wasn't the king, and he wasn't ruling over nobody. You just a government official. You helping the king with his business. You serving the king. You a servant still, and you ain't went to your homeland and did anything. Then you got Jehovah wickedness saying in Isaiah 63, where it says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?" Now they saying that's talking about who the world ignorantly called God, Jehovah, and not Yahweh Shai, but it's talking about Yahweh, like he finna come down here and stump the wicked peoples, and this is they understanding, saying that it just means talking about the wicked nations. Edom represent the wicked nations. No, it represent the nation of Edom, Esau's children. And so these dragons, these red dragons, try to hide the operation. Then in Isaiah 34, it talk about these people, and it's talking about the second coming. It ain't talking about no in the past. Isaiah 34 verse 5, it say, "My sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea," that's Esau, Edom, "and upon the people of my curse to judgment." See, the people of my curse. Verse 6, "The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidney of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." You see, that's who he coming to get, these freaking Edomites. And he ain't, nobody's in that land right now. The land of the Edomites is desolate. It's a desolate waste, and it's destroyed. So he's not coming for no land. He's coming for the people. He said, "Upon the people of my curse." That's who he coming for. That's who he talking about in chapter 63 of Isaiah. The people of his curse. He's not talking about nobody else. Even in Malachi chapter 1, it talks about these Edomites. And so these Jehovah wickedness try to act like the Edomites was done away with in 70 AD, when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem. But no, they not finna be known as the Edomites. They not finna be known as a nation as the Edomites, because you got the Edomites knowing the prophecies. They got prophecies about them way back in Numbers. So they not finna just tell everybody who they are. When you go to Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 49 was never addressed in the Jehovah wickedness website. You can put that Jeremiah 49, and they ain't gonna talk on that thing at all. They barely have any watchtower on the Edomites, when the Edomites is all through every prophet talks about these Edomites more than any other nation. They talk about these Esau and the Edomites. And this is the twin brother of Jacob, the Israelites. You can't help but to talk about these people. But anyway, in Jeremiah 49, chapter 49, verse 10, it say, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself." So these Edomites trying to hide. They don't want to be seen and found out. They trying to hide, man. They trying to put clothes on and hide, disguise themselves. That's why he say, I'm gonna make them bare, naked. Take the disguise off of them. I'm gonna uncover their secret place. They trying to keep themselves in secret. They want to keep their identity a secret. You see? And so these Edomites, they starting these religions, playing replacement theology, trying to say that the nation of Israel is the Jehovah wickedness and the Edomites is Christianity. What kind of mess is that? Edom represents Christianity and Judaism, and Israel represent the spiritual Israelites of the Jehovah wickedness. See the mess they coming up with? You pretty much saying the Bible is a bold-faced lie, and we just reading the Bible, and we gonna tell you what we just using the Bible as a comparison. It's a comparison book. This book wasn't meant to be no comparison book. Let's go to Isaiah, man, because see, these people is bold-faced liars. Isaiah 55:11. "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish that which I have pleased, and it shall prosper in the thing where I sent it." He's not saying nothing in this book that ain't gonna come true. He not running his mouth in this book and drawing comparison when it comes to the nation of Israel. The prophecy about the nation of Israel is going to happen. It's going to happen just like he said it was going to happen. It's a word that came out of his mouth, and it's going to accomplish what he wanted it to accomplish. That the nation of Israel is going to go back to their homeland and have servants and handmaids. Just like Isaiah 14, 1 and 2 says. But see, these Edomites don't know the prophecies, and they trying to hide themselves. And he done made them bare. When you go to, they know to hide because they know the prophecy way back in Numbers. You don't think the Edomites knew about the prophecy in Numbers? When you go to Numbers 24, starting at 18, "And Edom shall be a possession, slaves. Seir," meaning the Edomites, "also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly." That's letting you know Israel, Jacob's children, is going to have Esau as a slave. And that they knew the prophecy from Genesis. Where is it? Genesis 25. They knew the prophecy then. That's why they hated. That's why Esau hated Jacob, because of the prophecy and the promise. It wasn't only a prophecy. It was a promise and a blessing. When you go to Genesis 25:23, and at the bottom of the verse, after when they was being born and separated, it say, "One people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." You see, it was always that the elder should serve the younger and be a slave to the younger. And that's what made Esau hate Jacob. When you go to uh Genesis 27, and he gives out the blessing to Jacob and Esau, because they twin brothers, coming from the same mom and daddy. And Abraham gave Isaac the blessing, so he passed it down to Jacob and Esau, and he told Esau that you gonna get a blessing after you take the yoke off of your brother. After your brother take the yoke off his neck, you gonna get dominion over the world. And in 41 he say, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. You see, that's what was going on. He hate the fact that he got to be a servant to his brother, and he was looking to kill Jacob. That's why the nation of Edom was always an enemy of the Israelites. And in Romans 9, Paul knew about this situation. Paul talked about it in Romans 9. And see, the Jehovah Witnesses in their Bible, it say that Esau lived away from the blessing. That's a lie. Real quick, let me quote it. In Hebrews 11:20, it say, by faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. So he blessed both of them. Nobody lived away from the blessing. He blessed both of them sapsuckers. Now getting back to Paul. Paul told you about these Edomites. Where we at, Paul? In Romans chapter 9, it debunks all Esau's lies. Starting at let's start at 12. This is he re-quoted what I just quoted in Genesis 25. He say, this is in Romans chapter 9 verse 12. It was said unto her, the elder should serve the younger. You see, that's what the Bible is all about, man. These two people, because they was given the promise. It was Abraham, his friend, and then Abraham's child had the blessing, Isaac. Isaac had 2 children, and it went to his 2 children and their children. That's how the blessing went, man. And in 13 he said, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, the people of my curse. And it's written in Malachi that they were going to be the border of wickedness. Not only was they going to rule the world with the sword, but they was going to be the border of wickedness. You see? And then in verse 17 of Romans 9, he say, for the scripture has said unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power, and that my name might be declared throughout the earth. So he raised these Edomites up and put them in rulership so he can show his power. You see, he gave them the blessing, and he raised them up over the nation of Israel, his people, because they was given the blessing. And that's what he was talking about when he was talking about the blessing in what was it, verse 7 and 8 of Romans 9, and talking about the promise. He promised these people that he was going to give them the rulership, and he gave it to them. And these Edomites, they trying to hide it. They don't want nobody to know. They don't. And you ain't heard a movie about the Edomites. You ain't seen nothing about these people. And the Jehovah Witnesses and all they so-called publications, you barely can find anything focusing on the Edomites when they the whole operation, the adversary, the enemies, the arch rivals of the nation of Israel. The wicked twin brother that didn't just disappear when he died. His children became multiplied and had all kind of children and ruled all over the place. The Greeks was Edomites. The Romans was Edomites. They try to say that the Edomites went away in 70 AD, but Harold was an Edomite. So how Harold died, him and his family died, he had a big family. But he was just a one section of the Edomites. It was more peoples than Herod. All the Romans and all the Greeks at that time was Edomites. And so these dragons just love to lie, and they the Antichrist that the Bible speaks of, the devil the Bible speaks of, the false prophet the Bible speaks of, the red dragon the Bible speaks of. They all through this Bible, man. Because the Bible is about Jacob and Esau. So you can't get around that, man. It's too obvious. But you ask the Jehovah Witness, they gonna tell you, oh no, well they ceased to exist. The Edomites, they died off and all this kind of stuff. Y'all done lost y'all mind. Too many prophecies about these Edomites. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praise to Jehovah, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hashem Rakakadah, step honest to the elders, pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Death to America, death to these red dragons. Shalom.